All right, what's good, y'all? Look, it's your boys on. I'm back with another video now. In today's video, I'm about to show y'all exactly how I live trade NAS 100 or US 30, whichever one I end up taking a trade on. I'm gonna show y'all how I trade live in the markets, and we're gonna make some money live with y'all. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the sub button, like up, and also make sure you taking notes because trading is the easiest way to make money in 2026 if you actually apply yourself and learn the skill. So I'm about to show y'all exactly my step-by-step process and what I do every morning. So as you can see, right now we on NQ. The market's just opened up. It's 9:30. I'm usually not looking for a trade exactly at 9:30, right? I'm usually just waiting for the market to show me what they want to do first, and then I'll start looking for trades. You're probably wondering why I got all these fibs on my chart and lines. A lot of this stuff is like the previous month low, the previous week low, the previous day low, previous day high. I put these levels on my chart every week, right? I start off from the monthly chart going down. So if you see these lines on the chart, just know what that's what that means. PWH is previous week high, PWL previous week low, PDL previous day low, previous day high, right? That's basically what I'm doing. So before we get into anything, since today is a new day and the only levels that I gotta change every day until the week is over is actually the previous day high and the previous day low. We're gonna move this up here to yesterday's high, and we're gonna take this and put it on yesterday's low. All right, so there we go. Now we could go back down. We could go to the 4-hour chart. Now, something I want y'all to pay attention to is you can see that NQ basically pushed into, let me see. NQ basically pushed into that little volume imbalance right here on the daily right now. I had this marked up on MNQ, but I'm looking at the regular NQ chart. I know I need to switch to the different contract, but I'm not trading directly on TradingView today, so it don't matter. But anyway, we got that volume imbalance, so you can see how price pushed right up into that and rejected, right? Now, we did take out the previous day high, so it's a chance that either the market continues to go down or the market continues to go higher, right? We do got equal highs resting right here above that previous week high. And it's some liquidity toward the downside, but the market kind of already did like a bunch of price action down in here. So I'm really expecting for the market to continue up possibly. But let's go down to the 4-hour. We go down to the 4-hour right quick. I'm gonna just clean up these lines just so I can make sure I'm seeing everything I need to see. This line right here can actually get removed. This Fibonacci is basically a new week opening gap from a couple of weeks ago, and then I actually got another one up here, another new week opening gap right here. So that's what those levels are, and I keep them on my chart for a while. Just so I like price do react off of those levels a lot, so that's why I keep. So now that we on the 4-hour chart, right? Something I want to do is I do want to mark off this gap. Now I'm not gonna be paying a lot of attention to this gap just because it's not something that was like formed recently during this session, but I am gonna mark it off just in case the market start using those levels, right? So as you can see, we got all of that. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to put a line on the 7 o'clock high. I mean at 7 o'clock and a line at 9 o'clock. Now this is gonna be basically me saying that, okay, cool, if it's any highs or lows within that time frame, I'm looking for the market to try to potentially go up and take out those highs or lows, right? So right now it's still nothing. But let's go ahead and put our opening price at the 0 o'clock candle. This is the next step. I'm taking y'all step by step on what you need to do every day. You're gonna go and put a line on the 0 o'clock opening candle, right? And you can do this on a 1 hour, a 1 minute, whatever, as long as you in that area and you know where your opening price is at. So for today's price action, the opening price is up here, right? So what we're gonna do is now let's go down to the 1 minute chart. Go down to the 1 minute, and I'm basically looking to see if we got any type of first presented fair value gap that start to form, right? This was at 840, so I'm not counting that one. It got to be after 930. So any fair value gap that formed within this range right here, we're gonna mark that off. But let's go to let's go to YM right quick. We're gonna go to US 30 and we're gonna do the same exact thing we just did on NQ. Now the reason I'm going to US 30 is because US 30 is a lot more like consistent for me nowadays when it comes to trading. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did on there, but we just gonna do it right here. So we're gonna move the previous day low to yesterday's low. Then we're gonna do the same thing for the previous day high and put it here. So now what I want to do is I'm gonna go and go back down to the lower time frames right quick. So we're gonna scroll through the 4 hour right quick, see what's going on, clean up the lines a bit. Right, we got that. I could take this and just bring it back a little bit so it's not in our way. Let's go down to the hourly. And you can see MYM actually moving pretty nice. That's why I said I've been liking US 30 a lot more. But we're gonna do the same thing 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And now what we're gonna do is go down to the 15-minute chart. And I just want to see where the market is potentially trying to go, right? You can see we got a low here, Then we got the previous week low over here as well. So this is definitely potentially get around. You see these equal lows here? This is making me want to look at and take US 30 way more than me wanting to take NQ, right? Just because I'm seeing like it's liquidity literally resting there. And the market most likely going to grab those equal lows. So if I'm looking at anything and I'm looking to go anywhere, I want to take YM short. You feel me? So basically we do that right there. Just for the sake of it, I am going to mark off this 15-minute gap here, only because I want to see how price uses it, right? Now we're going to go back down to the what is this gap here for actually? Hold on, let me go back to the higher time frame. I just want to make sure see if I can delete this, and I can actually remove this. It's just in my way. So we got that 15-minute gap there. Now we're gonna go to the 5-minute. It's really nothing. I'm going to the 1 minute. I'm not really seeing nothing. Now we just gonna give it a minute, because it ain't really, I mean, this is just what trading is, right? Some of y'all probably think you just hop on the charts at 9:30 and just place a buy or sell. Nah, to be honest with you, I'm really waiting till 9:50 to 10:10. That's really like the time frame that I really want to get in the market. So another thing that I usually would do is I would make another line, and I would put it at exactly 9:50 and 10:10. So we're gonna duplicate this one, and we're just gonna drag it out a little more. So this is basically like, okay, any highs or lows within this range right here, we be expecting for them to potentially get ran, right? So say for instance the market shoot all the way up and take out the London high and then come back down, I wouldn't be surprised. You feel me? But for now, all I'm gonna do is just chill and wait for the market to kind of show me what they want to do. You can go on here and like double the screen so that you can watch NQ and YM. And like I said, I know I'm on a March contract, so I need to switch to the June contract. But for today's lesson, this is gonna have to just be good enough. It's not gonna be that much of a difference, especially since I'm not exactly executing on here. You feel me? So yeah, basically what I'm seeing on NQ. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if NQ tried to run toward those highs up here. And the reason I'm saying that is because we do got equal highs resting up here. The market did trade down and run these stops. It's stopping at this little fair value gap that we had marked off on a 4-hour chart. And now it's starting to try to move the opposite direction. But instead of me just pulling a trade here, I still kind of want to see a better confirmation. And I know that confirmation most likely going to come around like 10 o'clock. So we really just got to chill. You feel me? We chill until something clean come. We don't want to just be getting on the charts and just place and buy and sell for no reason. Like I'm even interested in gold. Like gold been moving crazy. Gold finally broke out of that range, right? I'm kind of mad because I did have a setup on here that I end up getting stopped out on like yesterday. You feel me? Basically the same exact trade I was expecting for them to like go down. I probably got in like in this fair value gap here. When they ran these highs up here, I got stopped out. And then I just never re-entered it, and the market just continued to drop. I mean, the market started to drop today, but that's just part of the game. You feel me? You're not gonna always get every setup, but yeah, we still waiting to see what these pairs do. Like I said, NQ looking like it's trying to do something. Remember those fib levels I told y'all about right here: 0.25, 0.5, 0.75. Those are all important levels. And yeah, once we get into a trade, we're gonna place our trade over here. So let me just go ahead and prepare. I'm most likely going to look at US 30 though, because US 30 just be moving way cleaner. I just want to see how US30 react inside of this gap here. All right, it's either going to respect this 15-minute gap and continue to go down, because it do got those lows here. And I ain't gonna lie, catching this move on US30 would be nice. Just catching this move from here down into that previous week low would be a great move. If it end up playing out. Now they didn't break this low, so that's a little bit concerning. But the only way I'll be looking to go long is if we trade above this gap here, and then I may look to target these highs up here. But for now, let's wait till it get closer to 950. Got about 10 minutes left before we really start looking for an entry. You see all these equal lows that they made down here? I'm still liking those on YM for them to trade lower and go down there and take that out. NQ is trading the other way. If we go to the 15-minute chart, I want to see how it's looking on that gap. See, this is a trade set that I actually would have just took just for a quick 100 points. But I'm trying to show y'all like how to trade the proper way to try to actually get like a clean full move, right? Right now, I don't think that's what's forming on NQ. I'm thinking it's just probably like a little small pullback. If they don't want to, like, if they want to go for those highs up there, then they'll continue to move up, right? Because NQ do got a bunch of liquidity resting above, resting toward the upside. So I don't want to stick to one bias and say, oh, I have to sell. I'm more looking at it like whichever way the market actually like show me that they want to go, that's the way that I'm gonna try to take the trade. So for now, we still haven't got no fair value gap on NQ since 9:30 started. So we still basically haven't formed the first presented gap at all. And I'm still waiting for that on NQ. For YM, like I said, I want to see how it reacts inside of this gap. If we get any closes above this 50%, I may not be interested in YM. Now the only other thing I'm seeing is that we got these equal highs right here. Now y'all probably look at this and say, that ain't really equal highs. I mean, you got to count that body opening, right? It doesn't have a wick on it, so this is the high of this body. So those two candles right here, those will be considered equal highs in my opinion, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if YM push up and take that out, especially since it looked like it's the 8:30 opening as well. So yeah, we could definitely run up in there and take that out. We forming a little swing low down here in a sense, right? We got these three candles. The lowest candle, these two candles on the left and right didn't go lower than that one. So on a lower time frame, it is a lower time frame swing low. But like I said, I'm waiting to see how we react to this gap because I don't really want to see it. I don't really want to see YM go up based off these levels down here. So I'm gonna go back to the 1-minute chart and see if we can start waiting for some type of displacement to form. Y'all probably wondering why I keep switching between the time frames. I mean, that's just something that you got to do if you want to be on point. If I was to get in and basically stay on a 1-minute time frame, I would miss stuff. You feel me? Because it's stuff that's going on the 15-minute time frame that I can't see on the 1 minute. You feel me? So I gotta switch in between time frames just so I can make sure I'm taking the right move and I'm doing the right steps that I need to do. So even right now, looking at YM, you see we rejecting that gap. Personally, I still feel like it's a little bit too early to pull the trade only because that 10 o'clock candle. This is what y'all gotta understand about time. The 10 o'clock candle gonna form. That candle is either gonna do a pullback or it's gonna do a continuation depending on how this previous candle range looked. So if we look at the 1-hour chart on YM, right? Can't you see that? It's clear as day. The market just had a significant drop in this 1-hour candle. So this is the 8 o'clock candle here. Then we got the 9 o'clock candle. Depending on how this 9 o'clock candle look, it'll leave a fair value gap on the hourly chart. You feel me? If that's the case, that'll be perfect for us because we'll get a pullback, right? Maybe the market do some type of change of character on a 1-minute time frame after a pullback, and then it'll continue down to try to run these lows if that's what it's going to do. So that's basically what we waiting on. Like I said, for NQ, I wouldn't mind them actually retracing and pushing up, right? Pushing back up into close to that opening price. but I just want to make sure that that's the way that they actually want to go first, right? So you can see I do want to do the same thing for NQ because we might actually be getting a setup on NQ that I could take, clone, and we're gonna put this at about the same time that we put on the other candle, right? We want to watch that little 10 minute, that 20-minute range on that new candle. So we're gonna put a line at 950 and 1010, right? That 20-minute window right there. That's what we want to pay attention to. So it's about 5 minutes until 950. When 950 get here, we'll look for that trade. So as you can see, we do got these little equal lows on the 1 minute on NQ. Now NQ is starting to form like bearish gaps toward the downside, right? You can mark these off. It's nothing wrong with that, right? We're gonna just mark it off just because. But if you marking these off and you already got one gap a different color on a higher time frame, I would just mark this like a different color, right? So that's what I'm gonna do for this. I'm gonna mark it red, and we just gonna watch it and see how price react in it. If price start to break down, and it's an aggressive breakdown, and we see that we can try to follow that trade, we can try to look to go lower. But at the current moment, I'm not liking this for sales, right? Only because of all the liquidity that's up here that need to, all this like open space in the market. So we about to see what happened. I'm liking the way that we trading out of this gap here though, right? So since we trading out of this gap here, if an opportunity presents itself for me to trade, like what I usually would like to do is this. We go to the 15-minute time frame right quick, and I just want to pull a fib just to show y'all. If we pull a fib from this high to this low, right? And I changed my fib to just a regular 7.5, a 705 fib. You can see that based off of this drop here, the market basically hasn't retraced 70% of this range, which is what I like to see it do. Now, what do you see right there? We see an order block, right? Right here. So this is a potential trade that I could take to try to trade back up into that. And I actually may, since we got an inversion gap here, if we can trade back down to this fair value gap, I'll look to take that trade with my stop loss exactly on this low, targeting that's 0.705 level. So let's see if we can get a little retracement down into here. And mind you, this is our first presented gap now. So remember I was telling y'all about the first presented gap? We actually finally got it on NQ, and I was actually talking too much, so I didn't even realize that was the gap. But this is our first presented gap. So now you can see I highlight that green so I know that's the first presented gap, right? Now I want to see price come back down into that and then trade higher. So we'll see. But yeah, let me hold on. Yeah, so all right, so we back inside that gap now. And we also just ran these highs here. So it's two things that's gonna either happen. The market is either going to use this gap to trade up, right? Or we'll trade through it and go back down toward those lows. We approaching the 50% of that gap. We just actually touched it. So now, just because this is what we want to actually do, and we believe that the market is, has the potential to go up, we actually going to buy NQ, right? I'm gonna put my stop here. It's about 50 pip stop loss. So I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna actually take this on another account. Gotta keep your laptop and everything besides you, heard me? All right. So this could either go two ways. We either gonna trade up. I'm gonna put my take profit like let's just go 100 points. So if we targeting about 100 points, it should be right there about 10,000. Like I said, sometimes you might get into a trade and it might not go your way. You feel me? You might be too early. Which is, it could be a situation right now, right? I could be too early. But we still gonna take our chances. And if anything, if worse come to worse, if we break this low, we know that we going back, that we continuing to go down. So all I would basically do is just this trade right here. It actually got the criteria for sell set up as well, because it just ran these highs. And if we was to trade below this gap and you know what I'm saying, break this low, if we was to return up to that gap one time, I would basically take that short back down to these lows here. You feel me? Because 9 times out of 10, NQ would end up trading down. NQ will end up trading down. So yeah, let's see what happened. Right now we breaking out of that gap. I don't like to see the closes on the lower half. So anytime we get closes on the lower half, I would usually actually just close like 50% of my position, right? Just because if it's gonna go my way, it shouldn't be trading. I don't really want to see it trade on the bottom half of this gap, right? Even though it's a 1 minute gap, I still you look at it the same. So yeah, based off what's happening right now, I'm actually going to basically just close out this trade. And I can clearly see that we're basically gonna go toward the downside. So what we're gonna do is, I'm telling you, this is just how you gotta trade sometimes, bro. You never really know until you know, right? So now we see that the market is trying to go down. I'm cool with taking that. Now I know that we for sure about to try to move lower. I'm gonna go in with 2 positions. I'm showing y'all how I do this live, bro. So we took a little L on the first trade, but now we kind of see where the market want to go. So we're gonna put our stop loss here, and we're gonna do the same thing here. And all we want is just these lows. I'm just expecting for this 10 o'clock candle, right? It's between that time of 9:50 to 10:10. I'm just expecting for them to run these lows here. If we can just run these lows here, I'm cool with that, and I'm pretty sure we could go a little bit lower. So let's go like, yeah, about right here. Let's just get an even 10K. I might close early because I got 2 positions on, but now we kind of know what's going on. So I could put 1 position here and 1 position a little bit lower. So let's see what happened. And like I said, the reason that we doing this is because this can qualify for a sell setup on a smaller time frame, because we ran these equal highs here. Price had the first presented gap, it disrespected it, right? Traded on the bottom half. Now you just seen we just traded back up into that same gap. And you can see we kind of respecting that 50% level. So I want to see us continue to go down. All right. All right, y'all. So let's see what happened. We in these setups. See if NQ can actually move down for us. See if she can move down for us. Only thing about NQ, man, it just takes. I feel like NQ haven't been doing nothing during the New York session. Like you get on during New York session, and the markets just basically do nothing the whole time. It move a lot during Asia and London, but then when New York session come, it just stall. Like that's the only thing I don't like about NQ, and that's why I really haven't been trading it. But NQ do have a better looking setup than US 30 today. So for NQ, I'm gonna just stick with this one. I'm gonna just take my chances on NQ today. If I lose on this, I may look for a setup on gold later. But it just depends. I know gold gonna give me like those big swings, and gold has been moving a lot. Like, just looking at it right now, you can see gold is dropping, and I know they're gonna have a lower retracement back up. You know what I'm saying? So really, I could have probably looked for something on gold to go down, but we just going. So since we already in NQ and it's clearly showing me that it's trying to go back to these lows, I'm gonna hold this NQ trade. And like I said, at first I took the long just because we traded. I mean, it basically made sense that we would have a retracement on NQ about 0.705, right? And that still could happen. It just might not happen right now. It might want to go down, make some more lows, and then come back later in the day or tomorrow. But if I'm looking at like a scalping setup, a lot of the times if I get into a trade, I might take a test position on the trade just to see, okay, let me get in here, put my stop loss at the closest low possible. That's why I put my stop loss here instead of down here, right? I'm not willing to have that big of a stop loss for a trade like this. But the fact that it showed me, like, when it traded up here, took out this high and traded back down, I was like, okay, cool, that's still a sales setup as well. So if they come on the bottom half of this gap, sometimes you just gotta take a chance. If you thinking they're gonna go higher, take the chance on that entry, right? You might miss out overthinking it. So what I do is I get in, but I have a criteria when it comes to fair value gaps though. If if it goes below the 50% of that gap, I don't want to be in that trade no more, usually, right? Or I want to at least cut 50% of my position off. Just to protect myself, because it shouldn't go back on the lower half. It shouldn't be having no bodies closed down here if we're going to continue up from that gap, right? So that's why you see as soon as they traded through it, I use this now as an inversion gap, right? Instead of a bullish fair value gap, now I'm using it as an inversion fair value gap. So when price pushes back up into it, I'm expecting for price to reject out of there. And now you can also see we got equal lows resting here, right? Equal lows resting here. This is where my eyes are getting drawn to. This is where I want to see price go, right? Anything lower than that is extra. I wouldn't be mad if it drops crazy, but for now, this is all I really want to see. And then we even got equal lows at the previous day low as well. So NQ could trade all the way down here, but if we can just get down to that low, we got good of enough position, right? And at this point, I really could move my stop loss above the high of this fair value gap. I could just put it right here on the high of this candle, but I'm gonna just leave it just for educational purposes, because I don't want y'all who learning to be like moving your stop losses too much, overthinking everything. But once you start to trade more and more, you get on the charts and do this every day, and you understand like time, it's gonna just get easier and easier. Like I said, I'm teaching y'all this for the free. This all game right here. This like any pair that I'm looking at, I'm basically doing the same thing, right? If I'm getting on gold, I'm using the same criteria I'm using on gold on NQ. I'm using the same criteria on NQ on US30. If I'm trading Forex, I'm doing the same thing. So everything that you learn in here, you're gonna be able to like apply it to any market, basically. We've been recording for like 28 minutes right now, straight. I ain't really editing this video at all, either. I'm just gonna post it because I don't really feel like doing all that editing. I'm not gonna lie. But we about to see what happened. I just don't like NQ that much, only because I just feel like it play around a lot. But we about to enter into this new hourly candle, so let's see what happened. The only thing is, that's concerning me is that we haven't broke this low yet. And since we haven't really broke that low, it's still a potential that the market could try to use this gap again, right? Use it as like a reclaimed fair value gap and continue to go high. Because like I said, a pullback, I feel like it is going to happen. But I'm gonna stick this setup out this time since we already in it, and I don't like to like hop in and hop out of two setups back to back. I gotta at least let one of them play out. So the first one, it was a clear, it was the right thing to do, right? Look how close that came to our stop. We don't want to be in no trade that's gonna test us that way. But now that we got the second entry and this one lining up a lot more, I'm willing to hold this one and see if we could get down to that low. But then I'll call it a day. You feel me? I don't even want to look for nothing else. I don't want to try to get more than I need to get. Both positions might just get closed at this low, and I feel like that'd be a good little scalp trade. So let's see how this first presented gap hold up. If it stays as like an inversion, we want to see it pushing down, but let's see what happens. see what happened. It's 10 o'clock now, so we just got a little push up on the 10 o'clock opening. That could be a potential wick forming on the hourly candle. So let's see what happened though. We got another bullish fair value got forming here, but I want to see this get traded through. I want to see them trade through that and target these lows here. Hopefully y'all kind of understand like my psychology when it comes to trading. Even on the losses, man, you want to basically be doing the same thing that you're doing normally, right? We don't want to switch up nothing just because we take a loss or something like that. Like we doing the same thing every day. That's basically all it is. We not strategy hopping 24/7. We basically sticking to the same rules. But this is good right here. Now let's see if we can trade down and take out these lows. If we can trade down and take these lows out, I'm confident that we get down here. Super confident. Let's see what happens. Hey, y'all let me know in the comment section where y'all at in y'all trading journey. Is any of y'all doing like funded accounts or any of y'all been getting payouts this year? Let me know. Man, NQ just play around so much, bro. That's why I hate this pair. I bet YM ain't doing nothing either. Bro, indices been so lame during the New York session, bro. Like, that's why I ain't really been trading that much, bro. No, it like look at this. Look at pre-market. Bro, I'm telling you, I might literally switch my trading strategy. I'm not strategy, but my timing. I might actually get off stop trading at 9:30 and start getting on a little bit earlier because the market be moving crazy from 6 o'clock to motherfucking 8:30. Right? All this price action before New York session opening is just super clean. But then New York session come, the time where you would think the market would be most volatile, and then we get this just chop. But like I said, I'm willing to hold this trade set up though. All right, let's see if NQ can trade lower for me. Right now, I got about 6,000. I got about $12,000 worth of risk on the table at the moment. Personally, if I see price moving above this high, I'm most likely gonna get out, right? Because then it's like if it break that high, I don't have no doubt that it'll try to continue higher. But right now it's looking good. I'm hoping y'all learning something though. Hope y'all learning something. Now we should definitely. You see how like the normal trader would draw like a trend line right here, right? They'll draw like a trend line on this, and they'll wait for a trend line to get broken or something like that, and then they'll think that the setup is valid. There's so much more that go into a setup than just like those simple techniques. This is why I like always like tell people to like learn the ICT concepts because it's gonna put you ahead of the average trader. You feel me? Who still like trading like supply and demand and stuff like that. I'm not saying that those things ain't gonna make you profitable, but if you trying to like read the market on a higher level, you definitely want to be learning the ICT concepts because it's gonna take your trading game to a whole new level. Just understanding time, price, like the way these candlesticks move and the patterns that form when it's and knowing like even just knowing like when they get out of a trade. You feel me? Like when a trade is possibly not gonna go your way. Like when I was in this trade at first and I ended up switching my bias, like even just knowing that, like, okay, how fair value gap work. Like, if it go on the lower half of my fair value gap and I'm looking to go bullish, that's not a good sign. You feel me? So I think ICT is the best stuff that I learned when it comes to my trading journey. Like I said, I've been doing this for probably like 6-7 years now. And yeah, his stuff definitely made me more advanced than what I was learning before and in a way that I was trading before. It do make you think a lot more though. That's the only thing that I will say. If you ain't a person that like to like overthink, if you were overthinker, then you probably have trouble with learning ICT concepts because you're gonna be trying to learn every single thing. That's why I say it's better to just stick to one model. Like if you could get the silver bullet, down pack, you good for forever, for real, for real. The silver bullet is like a golden setup still to this day. No matter what else he teaching, all the new stuff he teaching y'all, the silver bullet is one of the best setups that I've ever like used. And that's basically waiting between the times of 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock to actually look for a trade. You feel me? So we about to see what happens. Like I said, NQ plays around a lot during the New York session nowadays. So you will be in the trade, man. It's looking good. It's looking like it's about to go your way. Then it'll just consolidate, ping pong back and forth for a long time, and then finally move your way when you ain't even on the charts no more. This is just what trading is nowadays. You just gotta get your money where you could get it. That's why I'm not even on those stuff where I'm trying to like swing trade too much, because I know that all I need is just a little bit. You feel me? If I try to do too much or like hold the trade for way too long, that's when it'll come all the way back on you and you end up getting nothing. So let's see how these setups hold up. Like I said, I do want to see them run these lows, because if they are going to continue to go up later, like say they're going to continue to go up from here, and they're not going to go and make a new low, right, on a higher time frame. Say for instance, this the lowest they're going to go. They might top that low and then work their way back up. That's cool with me. I don't need them to go no lower than that. Like anything lower than that is just me doing extra. The average trading day before the market got super volatile, I was only looking for 100 pips on a move. All right. Now you got the market moving 1,000 pips in a day, and you feel like you got to catch all of that. You don't. You just got to get what you could get. Now I wish I would have took YM, because I would have already had my 100 points. Look at how YM moved. Even though YM was way more ugly and choppy, it actually moved. I could have took this trade in here, stop loss at the top of this gap, and I would have already had my 100 points, right? A little bit more than that actually, because the high of this was like 46,900, and the low right now is like 46,700. So it's almost 200 points on YM in the same amount of time that I've been in this NQ trade. But the market not gonna always move when you want it to move. You feel me? So you see all the back and forth. You see how it do all this choppy stuff, and it'll scare you out of your position, and then you end up closing, right? Say if it start pushing up, you close out thinking, damn, it's about to run a high, and then you would get one big candle that'll just drop, and then you be like, damn, I closed out too early. So that's why I don't know. Sometimes I really don't care about losing, because you know what I'm saying. When on the days that you win, you gonna win a lot, especially when you scale in. That's something else I gotta teach y'all too, like how to scale in, because scaling in is really where you're gonna be starting to go crazy with like account flips and all that. Now, right now, I'm not liking what I'm seeing, right? But we still haven't had no bodies close like on this upper half for real. Except this one right here was that opening of that 10 o'clock candle. But let's see what happened. What I'm hoping is that they don't try to use this as like a reclaim gap and then try to go up now, because on the 10 o'clock candle, I mean on this new hourly candle, we did run these lows here. Like we had these equal lows marked up here, and the market did take those out, right? And now it's starting to push back up and reuse that first presented gap in a bullish sense, right? Which in my opinion still makes sense to that could happen, because like I said, it's endless liquidity up here. It's a lot of dead space in the market up here. It wouldn't surprise me if they went up there and took that out, but we gotta play it. We gotta play it a little safe and just see what happens right here. If we break above this high, 9 times out of 10 is going bullish, and this bearish setup right here is not finna play out, and that's just what it is. But we never know. We just gotta hold it. You just gotta hold it. But I do not like that price action. But it's like it's NQ. It's just so back and forth. You don't really know. Like you'll be sitting here re-entering trades and close them back and forth, trying to like be perfect. You feel me? So it's just it's just the times we living in. Let's see what happened. Let me switch time frames. Let me go to the 15-minute. Go to the 5-minute. Another thing that y'all could do to kind of determine direction is look at the dollar index. Right now the dollar index is bullish on the 15-minute time frame. I'm really not seeing too many lows that I don't really see nothing that would make me think that dollar will want to come down right now, right? if anything, I would rather see dollar try to go and push up for this high. So that's what I'm aiming for on a dollar index. So let's see what NQ ends up doing. I'm seeing YM still pushing down, which is a good sign. We came close to our stop loss on NQ, and it's starting to try to push down some more, but let's see what happens. Like I said, I didn't really want to be in this no more if they broke this high, but I do want to give it a chance because, like I said, the market isn't just it's consolidation New York session. This is just how I look at it. It's just how I look at it. And like I said, I'm not about to close out 2 trades early. One, I'm just gonna have to hit my stop loss because the way that the market is now, you just don't know. Right? You see how we getting this big, huge bearish candle. Imagine if I was the type of trader who I'm in a trade, right? It started to go against me, and it's getting close to my stop loss, and I panic close it, right? Now look at us back at break even. Basically, I would have missed out on this if I would have just closed it just now. So sometimes you just gotta let them jumps just play out, especially when you on your second setup for the day. It's no point in closing early. Like if you close the first one early, that's cool. But the second trade, just let it hit your stop loss or TP. And that's why it's good sometimes just walk away from the computer, to be honest with you. Like, the only times I'm really sitting here watching this like this is if I'm doing a video or live trading or something or teaching somebody. But other than that, man, I think it's way better to just place the trade and get off the charts. You feel me? Because then you don't worry about all of this. Like, you're not even worried about what's going on. If you can't see these candlesticks, you don't know where price is at. You could go on TradingView, put an alert here, put an alert here. If your TP get hit, it'll alert you. If your stop loss get hit, it'll alert you. But all of those emotions that happen during the middle of a trading setup, you avoid all of that because you don't see it. So let's see if this trade end up doing what we wanted to do. I'm really interested in really just throwing another 10 lots on because I could really move all my stops down to this high at this point. I really could put it up like right here on this candlestick's high and target these lows down here. And actually, I am actually going to do that. I'm not going to do another 10. I'm going to just do 5. I do want to see this low get broken first, but then my stop loss is going to be way more. I'm going to just put it on. And put our stop losses all right here now. So as you can see, I did scale in again. This is how I trade. This is how I get the most out of a move, especially when it's taking forever to move. I scale in on them. So now we're going to modify this, right? And we putting all our stop losses at the same place. I never like to have stop losses in different spots because if one entry get closed out, man, just close all of them. So now we got these trades. We got these trades locked down. Let's see what we get. We do got a bearish fair value gap sitting right here. We do got a bearish fair value gap sitting right here, but we just gonna go with the flow, right? It's pushing down toward these lows we wanted to see it push down to. Now let's see what happened. We have 5K at the moment. Just having a little bit of patience, right? We've been trading for like 45 minutes. And like I said, I'm gonna post this video and let y'all see the whole thing. Right now we have 7,500, 8,000, 9,000. Let's go. I'm telling y'all, bro, you just gotta have patience sometimes. Look at the markets, bro. We going crazy. NQ doing very good right now. That's what I want to see. Now, we need to get to this low though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move all my stop losses. Remove all my take profits. Right here on these lows now. I don't even need it to go no lower, right? I can really put it on like here, right? We just want to get taken out a little bit earlier than that low. And I had a TP on this one a little bit lower, but we're gonna do the same thing. Since we scaled in, we don't need to hold it that much. You feel me? I want all of my stop losses at the same exact spot. I mean, all my TPs at the same spot now. So now we got all our TPs right here. We up $9,000 floating. At this point, usually I would move my stop loss down to break even, but the fact that this is just one 1 minute candle and the market's so volatile, I can't really move my stops yet because the setup is not 100% locked in yet, right? Now you could move it to break even and that'd be, you know what I'm saying, the safest thing to do. But if it was me, I would just move it down a little bit more. So maybe move it to this high, right? We still got a little a bearish gap right here that formed on a 1 minute. So believe it or not, the market will retrace all the way back up into that little gap, touch that, and then come down, right? It'll come all the way down to where it came right now, super close to these lows. And then you would think, damn, I should have took profit right there. Which you know what I'm saying? That's a valid point depending on how much you up. But you got to be aware that anytime you see these gaps forming, the market could come back for that. You feel me? So never put your stop loss in the middle of a spot like that where if we was to put our stop loss at break even, right? And they come up for that gap, we get taken out the trade, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just things y'all to learn as y'all continue to go on. But let's see if we can hit TP on this right quick. The highest we seen on this position was like 9K. We back up about 7,000 right now. I believe it'll rush down there, take out that low. Let's just see what happens. Like I said, I just don't really like NQ during the New York session. It always seemed to just play around, but it's moving in our direction now. So let's go. And just like that, in a couple of candles on a 1 minute chart, we were all the way back up to break even. Almost a whole 100, like 50 some point move in one candle, right? Like I said, we still got this gap open right here. So this is still a potential like pullback area that I wouldn't be mad if it reached up into there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get nervous if it go back in there. But I really would like to see them just respect this one right here. Right, since this is the one that's kind of formed as they broke this low. I would like to see this gap hold up and they continue to just go down there and run those lows without actually coming all the way back up into that. But yeah, I'm always looking at the gap that formed the displacement, and that's the gap, right? This right here might just be used as a breakaway gap because we did trade. Like if we go back to Trading View, you can see we kind of worked that area a lot. We traded up first presented gap here. We traded through it, traded back up above it, and then we traded through it again. So this area right here has been filled with price a lot, right? Price stayed around here a lot. So I'm not looking for price to come all the way back up in here again after we just broke down out of it, right? So we just had the displacement here. This the candlestick gap that you want to pay attention to if you ever in a situation like this, right? You want to be looking at this one. So you might have been late. So you might have been late in the trade. You didn't get in here when we got in. You might just be looking at the charts right now, but you see this, right? You see this gap form up here and you see this one hit. Look at the one that formed the displacement. Look at the one that took out the low. And then we look at that gap and we could use that one to try and, get a little bit more out of this move. But personally, it got to be worth it though, right? Like, and when I say worth it, I mean the amount of pips you about to get for what you got to risk got to be worth it. I wouldn't take a trade right here only because I wouldn't really want my stop loss on this high. You feel me? And I'm not willing to put my stop loss all the way up here right here from getting the entry here because then the risk to reward is way off. You feel me? But yeah. YM is moving down. YM did trade better. I told y'all YM is the better pair right now. NQ formed a cleaner looking setup to me today, but YM is definitely the better moving pair right now. Like if you would have just looked at that 1 15-minute gap and just took your trade inside of it, you would have been in a profitable trade right now. It done moved probably like 300 points since we've been on the charts. You know what I mean? And NQ barely moved 100 since we got in, right? So that's why I've been trading US 30 a lot. But we getting close to getting out. Hold on, my camera stopped recording. Let me fix that right quick. I done ran out of space on the memory card. I'm mad. Hold on. I'll just delete this video that I was recording. Delete. All right. And that little video took up all my space, bro. It's crazy. That one little video. Are we focused? Ooh. Start recording again. y'all learned something today, man. Let me know in the comment section down. But I'm probably gonna turn some of these into TikToks just to post them up. You know what I'm saying? Do a little bit of marketing. But yeah, this trade was moving nice. This trade is moving nice. Back up 8,000. Back up 8,000. We almost a TP, y'all. TP soon, TP soon. 10K. Come on. Hey, we get a little bit more, y'all. We out. We call it a day. A little bit more and we call it a day. That's what I'm talking about, yo. Patience. We had a lot of patience today. Been waiting on this trade. We've been waiting on this trade for a minute, but we've been waiting on this trade for a minute. We getting close. 10K again. 10K again. All right. Man, come on, yo. Let me get out. Let me get out of this trade. I should close here at 10K, but I gotta let it in my TP, bro. I put too much risk on to close yet. I gotta at least get close to it, like a 1 or 2. At least close to a 1 or 2. How much we got on? We got 3.6. We got about $9,000 worth of risk on the table now. We cut it down from about 12,000 initially, and then we added more entries on too. So it's actually less because one of these entries is a 0.5. Let me see. Close. We getting close though. We shouldn't have to be on the charts for too much longer. But I'm definitely holding until we take out this low. Especially the way that YM just moved. YM just broke down so much. If NQ play around and come all the way back up, yeah, I'm done with this path forever, I swear. So let's see what happens. I think we should just get like an explosive move soon. It just take us right down there and run that low and get us out of there. We about to be done though. A couple more minutes, yo. We might as well just hold it. We already came this far. 10K. 694. All right. 11K. 12K almost. We looking good, y'all. We looking good. This jump taking forever. It's the only thing about saying doing these videos, but I've been recording for 53 minutes, yo. Is anybody gonna say and watch this all the way? Ain't no way y'all about to watch this all the way. Maybe y'all would though. Anybody that actually want to learn how to make some money gonna sit and watch it. I ain't chopping nothing either. Like I'm leaving this whole video just how it is. Y'all gonna have to look at this like a live stream or something, cause I ain't editing this hour-long video, bro. And it's crazy. We literally right here, like literally 30 points away, and it's stalling so much. Like, bro, just go. That's why I don't hold trades that long, bro, because it just be like, bro. Like, come on, bro. We super close. 30 points away. Just hit this jump and let me get off the charts for the day. Please. The thing about it is, if you pay attention to time, watch how the market works. Right, we 5 minutes away from 10:30. At 10:30, another fair value gap will usually form. Right, on some type of time frame, whether it's the 1 minute, the 15, and 5. Another fair value gap most likely will form around 10:30. Right, so me knowing that is giving me a little confidence to know that okay, cool, I could just hold this for a minute more, a little bit longer. It's most likely going to run down there. Because another gap got to form. So in order for that to happen, they got to run some type of low or something. You feel me? For it to be like a valid gap, in my opinion, for me to actually pay attention to. So as you can see right now, it's trying to push a little more. We up 11K. Just let me get one little push down. Give me one bearish candle. One super bearish candle, and then I'm out. Give me one crazy bearish candle, and I'm gone. That's all we need. I'm telling you, anytime you're trying to figure out what a market going, always look at the smooth price action. If it's too smooth, right? If these lows and stuff look too clean, expect for the market to run that. Even if it looked like it might want to go higher, right? Because initially my bias was bullish. I was expecting for the market to go up. But me seeing what was going on and saying, okay, cool, it's more clean down here than it is up there. The market pushing this way. And look at what's happening. I told y'all, one big bearish candle, $15,000. Let's fucking go. This is what happened when you had patience, y'all. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. We super close to my TP 16K. I'm probably finna close this out soon though. But I do want to let it drop, y'all, like run down into my TP. There we go. Easy money, y'all. 26, like $24,000, bro. Let's go. In 1 hour. I held that trade for 1 hour. And it's still pushing down. But we out. That was a good trade. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If y'all did, man, make sure y'all drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'm going to see y'all in my next one. Peace.